Hey there, Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja, and I'm going to talk to Jason on our Ask a Ninja page, which, by the way, I'm going to put a link down below. So he's got a great question about how should he install plastic in his crawl space when there's already floor plastic installed. So stay tuned. So Jason, I appreciate you getting on the Ask a Ninja call with us, and please feel free to share with us a little bit about yourself, and then what's your first question?
Sure. My name is Jason. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. Actually, I just recently moved to Tallahassee and bought a house. And during the home inspection process, it was pointed out that there was some mold in the crawl space and that it needed to be addressed. And the home is built in the 70s, and where, from research that I've done, the idea was, they would have a vented crawl space. Well, basically, based on a lot of the videos that I've watched that you've created, that's kind of a big no-no. It's actually against code right now. So I went through the process of going into the crawl space, and the previous owners did lay down recently a vapor barrier on the ground, but they attached it, they taped it maybe about 6 inches up the wall.
Okay, so they actually used tape to attach it to the wall, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I guess it's tape, but it almost looks like that there's like roofing shingles or something like that to the wall, that it's then almost like tarred to the wall. It's I don't know. It looked different from everything that I was able to research.
Okay.
So, but it is connected to the wall, and so I guess my question is, I want to now go ahead and finish putting vapor barrier on the wall.
Okay.
And so, what I'm wondering is, I think normally what you would do is you would put the vapor barrier on the wall and then come through and put the floor vapor barrier on, and then secure the floor piece to the wall tape piece. And I guess my question is it okay in this situation, given that I'm going to leave the floor vapor barrier, that I just put the wall piece on, and then over top of the floor piece, tape that part down?
Gotcha. Okay, so with us, if we were to do it from scratch without there being a vapor barrier down, we would actually put the wall plastic on first, and then bring it, 6-7 feet away from the wall, one piece, and then put the floor over the wall plastic. That's typically how we would install it. So what you're wanting to do is basically put the wall plastic on and then drape it down over the floor plastic that's already there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that floor plastic really dirty, or is it pretty clean?
It's pretty clean.
Okay.
As I said, I don't think it's very old. I don't know. I think they just recently did it.
Okay.
So, owners.
All right. So yeah, I think as long, the only thing about an older vapor barrier or plastic is that it might be really dirty, and obviously it may not tape really well, but if yours is pretty clean, I think it would be okay to do that as long as you weren't getting water in above the original plastic. Because the problem is that once you start getting water, if your foundation wall starts allowing water through, and you may not have this issue, I'm just speaking hypothetically, but if you've got a wall that water's coming through the block or the concrete or whatever it is over the original plastic, it's eventually going to get on top of that original plastic and then work its way out. So that's why we do the floor over the wall versus the wall over the floor. Does that make sense?
Okay, I got you. So then the water will kind of be sandwiched in between the two layers there.
That is correct. And eventually that water could wear out the adhesive of the tape or whatever it is that you use to join those two pieces together.
Okay, great. All right. So, okay. And then you said they come out about 6 feet along from the corner along the floor, excuse me.
Right. There's really no magic number, but the further the better.
Yeah.
I mean, if you buy a piece that's 10 feet wide and your wall's 4 feet tall, then yeah, go 6 feet out. If you got a 20-foot wide piece, go 16 feet out. You know what I mean? Because the weak point is going to be where the wall meets the ground. All right, because that's where the water's going to pool in most cases. So the further you can get that piece of plastic, that wall plastic, away from the wall, the less likely it's going to mess it up.
Everything's working great so far. So as I said, I got the dehumidifier running now, and I just I got to get running a little bit early because I knew I wasn't going to get to the wall piece until this weekend, but I wanted to get things started.
And that's a good point.
Get that hooked up.
That's a really good point. I think the viewers should know is that the Dehu, you just go ahead and stick it in there and get it started. Whether you got the plastic right or not, controlling humidity and the dew point, those Dehus are powerful enough to where they can at least get things started and get things drying out, even if you don't have the plastic perfect. So I think you brought up a good point there, because most people they want the plastic installed and getting all that done. Well, just go ahead and start drying the crawl space out. That's the most important part, so that's good that you did that.
Yeah, I mean, right now I have the thermostat set at 59, but just to get it started, that's basically what the instructions told me to do. But I eventually want to set that to like 50, right? 50 is kind of the magic number that I want to set at too, right?
Yeah, that's where we set it at. So, and the reason why we set the Dehus at 50 is just in case the Dehu is not measuring accurately. So in other words, if it's off of 3 or 4 points, I'd rather err on the side of it being a little lower than 55 or 60%. And it also gives you the opportunity to catch it a little faster if something happens, or if the power goes off, it's already lower. But if it's borderline 60 and you lose power for a day or so, you're gonna, it's gonna creep up really fast on you. So we like it at about 50%.
Okay, good. That's what I'll follow then.
Okay, all right, Jason. Well, thanks again for calling, and thanks for getting the April air from us. We really appreciate your business too. Thank you so much.
Hey, well, thank you for all your videos. As I said, I learned so much turning this into a DIY project for myself. So I learned a lot from all your videos. I've probably watched over 20 of them, I think. I don't know how many. I lost count watching them all. So thank you.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you, and we really appreciate you. Have a good day, sir.
You do the same.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Jason, we really appreciate that great question and for being a guest on our Ask a Ninja page. And please like this video down below. And if you would like to talk to us and be aired on our video channel, we hope you'll click the link below and fill out the Ask a Ninja page. And we thank you so much for watching. Make it a happy and blessed day. We'll see you later.